It's a new day, noon, and yes, it is. Baby, 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 come on, baby. Baby, 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 let me get that gravy. The gravy being love and commitment and friendship. That be that gravy. Gravy ain't a sex thing. So if you're thinking about sex right now, that is your programming's fault and has nothing to do with me. If you think about sex and me, you're wrong. You're not thinking about it. Time to change the way that brain works. Anyways, it is I Noonan Time with Harold. That is Harold, capital H-A-R, old. I am the leading source of news in Coweta County that is not true. I guess, is that true that I am the leading source of untrue news? Probably. But then again, I mean, it is social media. The social media exists, so maybe just Facebook in general would be the leading source. I like to think that if anyone can bring you the wrong news and make a smile about it, I'm the leading source of lies that you're glad or lied about. No one's lies are enjoyed as much as my lies. But I don't pretend like they're true, y'all. I don't want you to think they are true. I want you to laugh at them and go, oh, that's funny. I'm going to follow along for more of those. Because if you believe my lies and then you realize that it wasn't true and it was just parody, I lose you. That's it. One-time fan. Because then you feel dumb and you feel embarrassed and you're out of here. And I can't grow like that. And if there's anything I've done correct in my life, it's grow. I'm very tall. Anyways, there's all kinds of neat stuff happening over here at Team Hut Harold. That's for the football fans out there. Today's podcast episode does not have a goal in mind. It has been a while since I have sat down, turned on this microphone, and just started talking. I haven't done that in I don't even know the last episode, which means I've been more prepared in the past. Today, I'm not prepared. It is 4:25 on a Friday. I typically record my podcast Thursday morning, but it's been a wild week. Why has it been a wild week, you may be asking yourself? Why has it been a Girls Gone Wild week over here, where instead of lifting up our shirts, we are pulling down our defenses and sharing our feelings? God, how do I think of some of these things? I'm brilliant. Just a brilliant little bug. Like, imagine, you know how older women love getting ladybug tattoos? Imagine that they get ladybug tattoos with a little mustache on them. Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, my brain's all over the place today, which is great news for you because I don't even know how long this episode's going to go. So if my brain's all over the place, it means we're going to hit lots of things. Maybe I should be taking notes so I don't start talking about something and forget what I was going to talk about. Anyways, I got a message from somebody yesterday, right? I get messages from people all the time. My DMs are wild. I wish I had some best friends so I could show them the DMs, because I do have a very specific rule. If somebody messaged me something privately, I will not make a joke about it. I will not tell people about it. It stays private. Unless you're messaging me, hey, here is a joke idea. Then I will post that. But otherwise, I am a very, very safe space, and I've been a safe space since day one when I started this. If you want to talk to me about something and you want it to stay private, it has stayed private. And that is why I am accepted by pretty much every corner. I don't know a group that doesn't. I'm sure there are, but I don't know like a big group that doesn't like me. I would have assumed it was the Summer Grove HOA, like the Summer Grove area, but no, they hired me to come host their bingo night, and we had a great time and lots of laughter. I gave out so many. I had like over 100 mustaches, and they were all taken that night, which is good. I gave them away. That was the whole point. But I wasn't prepared for just losing all of them. But bam, 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 bam. Those kids, they love them. So I get along with them, get along with Chatty, get along with, I think, all the, oh no, Sprayberries. Yeah, Sprayberries. Anyways, the point. The point was that I got a message yesterday because a friend had been seeing the signs that are across Coweta County, the political signs for Gooch. And I don't exactly know what he's doing. Let's see, Gooch for governor, maybe? I don't know what he's doing. But there are signs throughout Coweta County. Here we go. Steve Gooch. He is running for lieutenant governor. MAGA loves him, woke fears him, Steve Gooch. And his signs have been put up around Coweta County, and a friend of mine saw it and said, dude, this is hilarious that you're doing this. something along those lines. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, wait, these signs aren't you. And he was talking about the Gooch signs, because for the longest time, Harold really blew up. One of the biggest things I did before, I mean, this was like 3 or so years ago, is I started realizing there was Gooch spray paint, Gooch, in different places throughout Noonan. And I just started posting about it. And it ended up leading to a Gooch Day song. It ended up leading to people going around with fake spray paint, like signs that look like spray paint, and holding them up to buildings and taking photos. It led to this whole parade of silliness about Gooch spray paint, because the Gooch is obviously a part of the body that people don't really talk about. If you don't know what the Gooch is, look it up right now. Don't go to Google Images, but just look up what a Gooch is. And there was debate. Are they saying cooch, like hoochie coochie? Or are they saying gooch? And it was just this, it was my first blow up, was covering the Gooch. And so this friend of mine messaged me being like, hey, this is great. I love that you're doing this. And I was like, I am not doing that. This is just a guy with the name Gooch. And so I am accidentally helping Republican frontrunner for lieutenant governor, Gooch, Mr. Steve Gooch. I'm spreading the word for you by accident. So if you win, you owe me, I don't know, Domino's. I don't even really like Domino's. That's just the first thing I could think of. I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and the colors on his webpage kind of remind me of Domino's, so I think that's why I'm thinking of Domino's. But during this conversation, I was like, hey, if I had signs, I'd put them up, but in the Noonan Time with Harold budget, which is a very small budget, I don't have money. I rely on donations for people to keep the mustaches coming, keep sharing my stuff, keep visiting things, buy merch, visit the website, listen to the podcast. All that helps, just the teeny tiniest bits of ways, so I can keep putting in money to upkeep the website, and sometimes promote posts, and sometimes pay for supplies that I use for videos, and the mustaches that I use. All the money that you send my way in any way goes back to it. So I basically told them, if I had signs that said like vote, and it just had a picture of a mustache or said mustache, I'd put them up around Coweta County. I think that'd be hilarious. I don't want people to actually vote for me for anything, especially not lieutenant governor. I don't even know what that is. But it would be fun to have signs that people are like, wait a minute, what is that? What is that beautiful Harold, hut Harold up to now? So if in the next couple of months, weeks, whatever, you see signs popping up that say like vote mustache, just know that my idea, but it was put together by a friend, and they made that happen. If it doesn't happen, that's fine too. He didn't say he would get the signs, but he at least was like, yeah, how many you want? So, and then the conversation ended there. He left me on red. So no pressure, bro. And if it doesn't happen, good, because I don't even know the rules. Like, when you have a political sign, where are you allowed to put it? I'm assuming if it's in a private yard, you have to get permission. But like, can I go to like a public place and just put the sign there? Where can I go where other people's signs are and just put my sign? Or do you have to get permission everywhere? Like, I don't know what the rules are for that. And I am quite afraid that if I do it wrong, I'll get arrested. But can you imagine me getting arrested, and there I am, locked up in the old slammer jammer, and people are like, yeah, I'm in because I was smuggling meth across just Santa Luhu. And the other guy's like, yeah, I'm in because I put a knife to another biker's throat. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here because I put vote mustache in front of a Wendy's. And they're like, you're the real monster. And can you just imagine that happening? Oh my God, that would be so spooky. Oh, I just got a text, y'all. It's from, see, I shouldn't say who it's from because I specifically have said, I do not say who my private, but it's from someone who is just delightful person. Just sent me a text, and they had the idea recently for me to do the Myers-Briggs test. It's a personality test, and my original thought for today's podcast episode was, I guess I could do the Myers-Briggs test on the podcast, and then the results, we could find out what my personality type is, but they didn't respond fast enough. Actually, I didn't send it to them quick enough. I sent them the text asking, hey, where do I find this test? like 10 minutes ago, and they responded within 5 to 10 minutes, which is exactly what someone who has their own life should do. And they sent me a link to the free personality test, the Myers-Briggs link. Thank you. Recording a podcast right now. Might try and do it during it. Anything you want me to say to the listeners from you? Face. So if I get a text back from this person, I guess then I could say who it's from, unless they specifically say anonymous. Either way, that's not important to what is going on. If you listened to my podcast last week, you know that I am trying to get in good with Sprayberry Barbecue. It is important to me to rebuild bridges because, as I was talking about just a little bit ago, I am good with everyone, I think. I am sure. I know there are people that don't like me, but they don't like the me without the me that's not this me, the me that has his own personal life and makes mistakes and has an ex-wife and has ex-friends, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but the Harold that is presented on Noon and Time with Harold and Harold Lee's the one that's trying to make people laugh and bring people together. I think pretty much everybody's Gucci with me. Gooch, I said it again. Ooh, Steve, you are. Steve, it's because I have his website open and I'm staring into his beautiful hazel eyes while I'm talking about it. I don't know if they're hazel or not. I'm colorblind. I'm not even sure what hazel looks like. Oh, I just got another text. This says, Pathways Center values your opinion. Please take 5 minutes to complete our service feedback survey. I'm not going to do that. But that does, spoiler alert, I go to Pathways for services. Anyways, what was I talking about besides Steve Gooch's beautiful hazel eyes? Trying to repair my connections with people. And there's some people I just don't want to hang out with or talk to just because there's so many people in the world, right? And there are people I've reached out to and have said they want to do things and they pulled back on it. Again, that would be me bringing up private conversation, so I won't do that to them. If they didn't publicly say it, they're good, but there are not a lot, maybe 4 or 5 big names in Coweta County that initially were like, yeah, I would love to do something with you, and then have either just not responded anymore, or left me on red, or have responded saying, no, we actually don't want to work with you right now. And I get it. When you see what the Herald is, that's the other guys. That's the real dudes. When you see what Noon and Time with Harold is, well, yeah, it seems like I'm going to make fun of you and it's going to be a parody. And it's not. I figured out a way to be all these things. The news is silly, but I am good enough at communication and writing, and I have proven through the interviews and stuff I've done, I'm going to make you look good. I'm not out to embarrass you if you're willing to work with me. It hasn't happened yet. I will always give you the option of doing something live versus pre-recorded. If you want to do it pre-recorded, we can edit out anything you would like to make you look like you want to look, within reason. I'm not going to edit it to where it looks like a question I asked was answered with a different answer. But if there's stuff that you're like, oh yeah, I got tongue-tied, or this comes off a little rough, yeah, we'll cut all that if you'd rather do that than be live. Always good. Always good. So pretty much the place that I know isn't super happy with me is Sprayberry Barbecue, which makes sense because I spent the first 5 years of Noon and Time with Harold poking fun at them. I say punching up. It is a term, it's especially used with people that are comedians and performers, things like that. Improv, I've heard it a lot. I poke fun at people that are, I'm not going after the little guy. I'm not going out after anyone with a disability or anything. I'm going after somebody who should be able to take it, right? Poking fun at a top dog. And Sprayberry Barbecue is a top dog. They may not make as much money as they wish they did when they had 2 locations, and I'm sure they wish that every company probably wishes they had more business, but they're respected and they're loved and they're adored all over Coweta County. And so I poked fun at them because they're the top, and I'm not a bully per se. So I went there. Ooh, boy, did I go there a couple of weeks ago, and I did a apology, and I brought up as many Grease references as I could, and they have not responded. They have not accepted my apology, but I have a lot more planned. I'll tell you guys here. I've mentioned a few other times, a few other places. Maybe I have. Oh God, there's a moth! 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 Sorry guys, reverse butterflies trying to get me. And a few other places, maybe just personally, privately, I've mentioned that I am working on the Sprayberry rap, the Sprayberry apology rap. It is coming. It has already been written, but the microphone and setup and program I use for my podcast is different than what I'll have to use to record music. So it's a different program, different outlets, all kinds of stuff, inputs. It's a lot more work to record a song, but it's ready. And then I probably will go and make a music video. So it'll take, once I actually start doing it, it's going to take like 3 or 4 days. So it's not going to be a pain. But it's one of those things where so much more of regular life is going on. And Sprayberry doesn't like me. And I'm not good at rapping. So it's like one of those things of, hey, I think I'm going to have fun with it. But it's not a top priority by any means. Things that are a top priority to me, and I was just talking to Hanley about this couple days ago, because it's almost summer, and summer changes drastically for all of us. Over here in Haroldville, Haroldville, I spend most of my days by myself. I work from home. I work evenings hosting trivia and whatnot. And the children in the house, mine and Hanley's children, go to school. Hanley is a teacher, so during the day it's me time. So that all changes in the summer. It's not just that the kids are here, it's that everybody's here. Which, okay, that's fine. Sometimes that's more fun than others. But I've been like, what's the thing I can do? What can be like my getaway? Something I can have built into my days that I can look forward to? Because I didn't have that last summer. It was sort of, I allowed the change in people to just disrupt my whole schedule, because I want everybody to be happy. If people want to spend time with me, I wanted to spend time with them. If people wanted to do things as much as possible, I was going to do it. But that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for anybody. You gotta take care of Daddy-O first, or Mommy-O, or They-The-O. They-The-O, my favorite character in Star Wars. That's not an offensive joke. That's just that They-The-O, which is not a word, I just made it up, sounds like a Star Wars character. To this summer, what my plan is, we've talked about this before, I'm going to really try to finish this book, The After Noonan Delight. The thing that I decided to do with the book has also put limitations on it. What my decision was is anytime I hit writer's block, I will go and put a poll up on Noonan Time with Harold, and you guys will decide what happens next. So it's not just my erotic novel, it's all of our erotic novel. The name itself came from me saying, hey, what are some name ideas? And Mr. Mike Boylan, big fan of Harold, he threw out a name that everyone really reacted to and really liked called After Noonan Delight. And like who the character is, like I'm like, that's a hard part. What am I going to make my character about? Who is this person that we're following? So I'm going to throw that over to you guys. I threw it to you guys before, and you guys want it to be a older woman. So it's an older lady that I am writing about. So I don't even get to use my perspective. I don't get to use the perspective of a 37-year-old white dude. It's going to be an older lady perspective. So anytime I'm writing and I hit a writer's block, or I hit a big thing that I'm just like, oh, how should I go with this? I have to stop writing, and I'm going to go to you guys. So that might make it where this takes longer to write. I've already started work on it, the layout. But again, as I started writing, I kind of let the story tell me where we're going. And even more so, I let you guys tell me where we should go next. And every time I throw it up there and somebody makes a decision and it gets the biggest reaction over on the social media, I will put their name next to that change in the story. So let's say Teresa walked into the bedroom, and there she saw laying on the bed was, and then I'm like, I don't know, what did she see? And I ask you guys, and somebody says the carcass of a deer. And everybody loves that idea. So I put the carcass of a deer in parentheses, submitted by Megan. Or a footnote that then at the bottom says, submitted by Megan. So that's the plan for this book. It is a Coweta County-based erotic novel called After Noonan Delight, following a middle-aged woman. And you guys are going to get me out of every writer's block. That's going to be kind of my thing to work on this summer. Is if it's busy, or my brain's overwhelmed, or I'm feeling like I have to do certain things, I gotta stop and take some time for me. And the thing that I'm gonna really work on is this book. So that's gonna be hitting this summer. And I've also been working on a secret second book that I will bring up here. I've only told one person about it. Again, private message, can't tell you guys who it was. Also, I don't know if you know who he is, so not that big of a deal. His initials are SL, so start thinking, whose initials are SL? But I've been working on a second book that is less fiction. I mean, it is fiction, but it's also not fiction. It's much more Harold expect. It's much more what you would expect from Harold. But it is currently called "The 100 Most Influential People in Coweta County History." (Parentheses that I made up). So they're not real people. They're parodies of people based on real things in Coweta County. In the fine print, it says that I made up, but the big print is the 100 most influential people in Coweta County history. So I've been working on that. I'm probably at 20 people right now. And I've been fighting the urge when I write it not to post these characters I come up with or the ideas I have on social media. I'm trying to keep it all close to the vest. That one I do not need help with. I'm just having fun with that one. If it never sees the light of day, I don't know how to get a book published. I don't know what any of that means. What do? I print some paper and I get a big crayon and I write book, and then I staple it together, and then I sell it at Market Day. Is that how you do it? I bet Gooch knows. I bet Steve Gooch knows. I haven't left that page yet. I'll let you guys know. I have 5 tabs open on my computer, different things that I may have pulled from as we started this journey podcast, this ranting and raving podcast. I have 5 tabs open, and thus far, the only tab I have used is the Steve Gooch page. It is open, and I am staring into his eyes. But I have multiple other tabs open that I could click to and see what's going on. But right now, it's just staring into his eyes, looking at him, just looking at that boy. So yes, this summer, as we get through the kids being out of school, the hope is by the end of that process, I will have, if not the Afternoon and Delight book finished, which it might not be because, again, it requires feedback from you guys in real time as much as possible, the 100 Most Influential People book. I'm also working on a children's book. This is a little bit of inside information about me. My dream since I was 13 years old has not been to be a dad or a husband or a doctor or a director or anything like that. My dream has always been to be a writer, to write books, write scripts. And I have written so many scripts, and a lot of them have been performed. And I've started so many books. I finished books, but I worked on those before. Like, it was never, I'm going to go learn how to be a writer. I never was going to go to college. It was always, I'm just going to be so creative and good at this that I'm going to be a writer, and people are going to see that. And they're going to be so impressed just how I was able to write this all by myself. My kid just texted me that they're going to come get their stuff. So it's possible in the middle of this podcast, Harold Jr. will show up. Is the door unlocked? I don't know if the door's unlocked. It looks like it is. They should be able to come in. Always wanted to be a writer, but never decided. I didn't go do English classes or writing classes. So it might be trash, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll see what happens. But I've also I have this concept for a children's book. It needs an artist and stuff, though. But that's kind of how my brain works, is I get ideas, I write them down, and I save them. And if I ever feel like I have time or something reignites that passion, I'm ready to go and I'm ready to do it. I got to stay creative. There's got to be something. There's got to be multiple things going at all times. So, but again, the big plan this summer is to get one of these books ready for, I guess it's just going to be put up on a digital platform, and you'll be able to get the book and read it on stuff. Because again, I don't know how much it costs to get a book made. No idea. I don't even know where to start. I used to look it up, but nowadays I don't know. Let's look it up. We're opening a new tab. How much does it cost to self-publish a book? Well, they have self-publishing on Amazon. That's cool. The overview says self-publishing a book typically costs between $1,000 and $5,000 for professional quality covering, editing, cover design, and formatting. While Kindle Direct Publishing is free to upload, investing in professional services is crucial for success. Budget-conscious authors can publish for under $1. Oh, $1,000. Sorry. The one was there, and then the rest of it was... I was like, how am I going to do that for $1? But who knows? Maybe Noonan will be there for me so much that we'll be able to get one of these terrible book ideas published. If not, it'll be up on some kind of Kindle something, and you'll be able to read it on your devices, and that'll be dope. And I'll be happy about that. So here's what we're going to do now. We have gone through 2 tabs. We know how much it costs to self-publish a book. We've looked into Steve Gooch's beautiful face. The next thing I want to do, I always keep this tab open when I'm recording a podcast, is the NoonanTimesHerald.com, which, did you know their website name is Times Herald? Times-Herald.com. Like, that's... I feel like there's better names than that. Times-Herald.com. But yeah, that's the name of their website. Who am I to judge? They're better at this than me. They are way better at this than me. Although I will say I've done a good job of making my website look a lot like theirs. Like the color palette and stuff. It's the little things. It's the little things, Herald, that you do so delightfully. So here are some of the top stories going on right now over at the Noonan Times Herald today, 4:48 p.m. on Friday, May 1st. Coweta firefighters deployed to South Georgia. Honk takes flight at Noonan High this weekend. Former First Liberty president charged in alleged $140 million Ponzi scheme. I'll tell you what, I don't even know what a Ponzi scheme is. I see this phrase all over the place in the wording, but I don't know what it is. Shall we look up what a Ponzi scheme is? Let's look it up. You guys probably already know. What's a Ponzi scheme? But I don't. A Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment scam that pays returns to earlier investors using money contributed by newer investors rather than from actual profit earned. Okay, I understand what it is now. According to the overview on Google searching, on that old googly boogly search. Let's see, anything else interesting happening? Republican District 3 candidates clash over growth. Political ties at Forum. I'm in conversations with all 3 of the District 3 candidates, but again, private conversations. I don't know if by now the video interview I did with Mr. George Harper will be out, but I do have a good back and forth with all 3 of them. Not a good back and forth with all 3 of them. I have had a back and forth with all 3 of them. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that one. It'll be most interesting to see what happens at the expected runoff and when they move on to the general election up against the Democrat. But for now, we're just, it's we'll keep an eye on it. It doesn't have the same oomph as the mayor race does, obviously. It's District 3. I can't even vote in it. And it's just not, it's not as oomphy. Although it's sad and stressful, and I feel sorry for people associated with things happening. But we don't got to talk about Bruno, y'all. We don't got to talk about Bruno. I keep coming back to Steve Gooch. Meet Gooch. You can actually click Meet Steve Gooch. Steve is running for lieutenant governor because Georgia deserves bold leadership that will stand up to the insanity of the Democrat Party. Protect our families from the invasion of criminal, illegal aliens and keep our economy vibrant and strong. What is a lieutenant governor? Lieutenant governor? I don't know what that means. No, that's just telling me who the lieutenant governor is. What is it? What is it? The lieutenant governor is a high-ranking executive official in state governments or provincial governments, serving as the second in command to the governor. Oh, so it's like a vice governor. Why do they just call it vice governor? They act as the governor when the incumbent is absent, incapacitated, I thought it said capitated, or vacates the office, and often preside over the state senate, casting tie-breaking votes. So, okay. Cool, I guess. I didn't know that it worked different than, where the president has the vice president. I didn't know there was, you elect a governor and you elect a lieutenant governor. But what do I know about politics? I know how to wallop them in a game of Candyland. That is the number one thing I know about politics. I just went to the tab of Facebook, and the front page is James Shepherd standing with some dogs. What? Earlier this week, Mayor James Shepherd met with Oliver Golden Therapy Dog and Lucas, two trained therapy dogs, to sign a proclamation declaring April 30th National Therapy Animal Day in Newnan, Georgia. National Therapy Animal Day celebrates the healing power of the human-animal bond. Therapy animals can reduce stress, relieve symptoms of depression, slow the heart rate, and lower blood pressure. How did I not hear about this yesterday when it was the day of this thing? Why is they just posting it now on May 1st? Apparently yesterday was National Therapy Animal Day in Newnan, Georgia. Interesting. Can it be National something day in Newnan? Wouldn't it be Local Therapy Animal Day in Newnan, Georgia? I ain't Googling that. I've done too much Googling. Oh no, where did Gooch go? Where did that tab go? Did I leave it? What did I do with that tab? Where's Gooch? I think I left it to look up Ponzi schemes. Georgia Gooch. Where are you, Georgia? I looked up Georgia Gooch. Wait, no, I looked up Georgia Cooch. What am I doing? What was his name? Steve Gooch. I need him back. Phew, we're back. All right, he's back on my screen, everybody. There's a video of him with Trump and Vance giving a thumbs up. All right, so we're getting to the end of this podcast, which has probably been, I would say, the greatest episode we have ever recorded in the history of ever Noonan Time with Harold. But I got to get off because in just a moment, my ribs that are cooking in the oven, I don't grill things. I'm not good enough to grill. Y'all don't judge me. They're about to be done. But I am also watching with anticipation to see if this person texts me back a message that I sent them when I said, anything you want me to say to the listeners from you? And they saw it. They says seen just now, but nothing has been typed. So I'm assuming they have way more important things to do in life right now. But I will also feel bad if I stop recording and then they send something. Oh, I guess I could just add it to the end. Like, we could end the podcast, and if they say something, I don't even know if they're going to say anything you guys want to hear. I don't know why I'm so invested in this. I guess because it's the first time. We're almost at 100 episodes. This is the first time I've texted someone and been like, hey, anything you want me to say from you on the podcast? Anyways, just want to tell you guys a couple of things. First and foremost, I do love you. And I do care about you. Like, I think that goes under the radar that I actually genuinely care that you guys exist, and I am happy about it. And furthermore, thanks for making me funnier by reacting to things and letting me know, like, the sense of humor you guys have. Oh my God, it's almost fate. They have responded, and they have said, thank you to everyone who supported the book fair, ! We didn't talk about there's dogs. We didn't talk about it, but yeah, Lion Creek had a free book fair that I went and brought my child to, and my girlfriend's childs to, and it was a lovely time. So thank you to everyone who supported the book fair, which is a thank you to me. So you know what? You're welcome. I am the greatest. We're all the greatest. All right.